Good morning, students. We have started with our textual part, and in the textual part, unit 1, we are going to see. We have seen already the poem, that is Life, poem number 1.1. Now, your homework section, your writing section, what all things are there in the writing section today. Let's see one by one. First of all, here are the sections of studies of this poem 1.1 Life. What all sections are there which you are going to go through, which you are going to read, you are going to write, and everything you are going to study about they are. First is warming up, then you have to write the poem in neat and nice handwriting. Introduction of the poem, glossary words, you are going to read the poem very carefully, and then afterwards you have to write down the words, new words along with their meanings. Then paraphrase, English workshop, language study, appreciation of the poem, and reading skills. These are the 9 sections this year for your poetry. In prose section, we'll see what all sections are there during that time. So now, let's go one by one to each and every section. Before going to the sections which you are going to write in your notebook, let's see one thing here all about the poem. Every time whenever we will go through the poem, we are going to see this section that is all about the poem. See here the title, first thing is the title. The title of this beautiful and inspiring poem is Life. The title only suggests that there is something about life. The title tells us that everything, every time in our life, during living our life, there may be ups and downs, pleasures and pains. But we should not get the negative attitude towards life. We should always be positive. Whatever things we are gaining, we should think about them, and whatever things which we are losing, we should forget those things. This is the thing suggested through the poem Life. Now the poet. The poetess of this poem is Charlotte Bronte. See here carefully, even though the spelling has R in that R is silent, and here I have written purposely in Marathi the pronunciation of the poetess, that is Charlotte Bronte. Do not pronounce anyway. She is Charlotte Bronte. She is well known, very much popular, famous English poetess Charlotte Bronte. She is also a novelist and a poetess. Her novels became classics of English literature. A well-known poetess. Now next thing is rhyme scheme of the poem. There are many rhyming words in the poem, and the rhyme scheme of the first stanza is A, B, C, B, and rest all stanzas the scheme applied is A, B, A, B. So only for the first stanza it is A, B, C, B, and the next stanzas there is A, B, A, B. This is about the rhyme scheme. Now figures of speech. There are many figures of speech used in the poem, but some of them I have written here for your sake. Just go through all the figures of speech, and if you get other than these, you can write there the other figures of speech also. Because if you are interested to find out rest all figures of speech, you can add up there in your writing. Otherwise, these are okay. 8 figures of speech I have taken out. See which all are they. First, soda, as sages say here, simile figure of speech is used where direct comparison is made. Second is often a little morning rain foretells a pleasant day. Here personification. Inanimate thing is given human quality. Personification. Next is clouds of gloom, metaphor, figure of speech where hidden comparison. Then while lament is fall, there is question mark, and hence it is rhetorical question, interrogation. Next is sunny as, again hidden comparison, metaphor. What though death till sway, those 2 lines, there is personification used, death is given the human quality. Next is golden wings. Again here metaphor, hidden comparison. And last one, so dark as sages say. Here alliteration figure of speech is applied, where the sound of the letter S is repeated for poetic effect. Next is implied meaning and structure of the poem. The structure of the poem is 6 stanzas, each of 4 lines. Every stanza contains 4 lines, and this way there are 6 stanzas overall. Now, what is the implied meaning in the poem? The poetess describes that life comes with bad times followed by good times. Nothing is permanent in the life. So, whenever you go through bad times, do remember that it is also not permanent. It will go soon away, and again the good times will come. After the rains, there is always sunny atmosphere. Sun is there. So do remember this thing while living your life, and the poetess wants to tell you exactly the same. She encourages people to see the sunny things and roses blooming as they last. So this is all about the poem. If you want to write down, you can write down these things. Otherwise, you can only read out, and while writing the appreciation of the poem, you can use these things in your notebook. If you ask me, it is better to write down these things in your notebook. Now, next thing is warming up activity. In the warming up activity, there are 3 questions overall given, and which all these 3 questions will see. Question number 1 is write down a few metaphorical lines about life. Metaphor, where hidden comparison is done, in which life is a game, play it well. It is actually comparison only. Life is like a game. Life is compared to game, and hence where there is no words such as or like, it is metaphor. So metaphorical lines, these types of lines you go through in your regular language. You might have read somewhere, you might have studied somewhere. So you can write these 5 lines, plus if you want to write some extra lines, you can add up there. You are always welcome. See here, life is a game, play it well. Then life is an ice cream, eat before it melts. Life is a joke, laugh at it. Life is a miracle, experience it. Life is a school, learn carefully. So these are metaphorical lines about life. Second activity is prepare an acrostic using the word life. Acrostic we have gone through last year, and we know the concept very well. Still, one more time, let's revise this concept. Here, life word is given. So, while writing about the words, each letter contains some matter ahead of that. It may be sentences, it may be words, it may be phrases, anything. But whatever you write there, it must be related to the given word. So, word is given life, so everything must be related to the word life. See here how this acrostic is made. First one, life. L says live happily, I says ignore worries, F says feel the positivity, and E says examine yourself. This is from the textbook itself, but here you have to write something different of your own. See here, LIFE, I have kept the space there. You have to make an acrostic of your own imagination, your own thoughts, and you have to write down there. Next activity is write the words in their appropriate columns. Here some positive and negative feelings are given, and you have to write them in the correct column. Positive feelings must be under the positive feelings column, and negative feelings must be under the negative feelings column. Some of them are, I'll show the example. See here, first word is hopeful. Hopeful shows positivity, so it will go under positive feeling column. Then lonely. Lonely shows negativity, it will go under negative column. Happy, positive. Jealous, negative. Surprised, positive. Shy, negative. Loving, positive. Proud. Proud, sometimes it is good, sometimes it is not good. So it will go under both the columns. Cheerful, positive obviously, anxious, negative. This way you have to find out all the words and where they will go under which column. You have to make the columns and write down the same in your notebook. Next thing is writing of the poem. As usual, everybody knows that you have to write the poem in your notebook after warming up section. So after warming up section, you have to write down the poem in neat handwriting. You can use colors there, and even you, if you want, you can show some suitable pictures to make the poem impressive. Next thing is introduction of the poem. Here, introduction is given to you. You have to write the same introduction in your notebook. Next is glossary part. Under glossary part, everybody knows that you have to read the poem carefully and find out the words which are new to you. You have not gone through these words last year and you don't know the meanings of the words. So you have to write the words and their meanings, and if possible, write the word class there also. Now here in this poem, there are minimum 10 words. Maximum might be more than that, but minimum 10 words so are there which you are expected to write in the glossary section. Next part is paraphrase. Last year we had not taken this paraphrase, but this year we are going to take paraphrase, which will help you to write the appreciation of the poem, and hence I have given this paraphrase purposely, because this year it is compulsory to write the appreciation of the poem in paragraph format. You cannot write in point format, and hence this paraphrase will be helpful to you to write the appreciation. Write the paraphrase question and the answer both. Next is English workshop. Here are some questions given aside to the poem. Here there is a section given in which there are some questions. I have written the questions also and the answers also of those questions. You have just to copy down. But before copying down, you have to read the questions carefully, try to find out the answer, and then only write down the given answers. Next is write from the poem 2 lines showing optimism and pessimism. Pessimistic and optimistic attitude. Optimistic means positive attitude. Pessimistic means negative attitude. So here answers are given. Still, if you want, you can write more from the poem there. You can add up more lines from the poem. Next section is language study. Under this section there are only 2 questions, which are write down the rhyming pair. You have to write down the rhyming pairs on your own. Answer is not provided because it's the easiest question ever. Next is ly adverbs of similar meanings. Write other ly adverbs of similar meanings. Here see one: rapidly, speedily, merrily, happily. If you find more than that one, you can give comma and write more than one similar meaning adverbs. ly adverbs. Okay. Next section is appreciation of the poem. Now you all are quite capable to write the appreciation of the poem, and hence you are expected to write the appreciation on your own, taking help of all about the poem and the paraphrase. You can write very nicely this appreciation, but it must be in paragraph format. Nobody should write in point format. Do remember, this is highly important. Next, one activity is given: reading skills. Read any one story or poem which increases your positivity. Now, you may tell me that I have read this book, so and so book, but when you will come to school, when we will be face to face, that time I am going to ask you about the poem or about the story, whichever you have read, and you have to describe me the story or poem in detail. So do remember, this is also very important. Reading is important, which nowadays you are lacking. So this is all in all warming up to reading skills. All these sections are covered under this PDF, in the PDF given. With the help of the given PDF, write down all the sections carefully, clearly, nicely. Handwriting must be good and good. Okay, students, I think you all have got this, and till next time, bye bye. Have a great day.